very welcome to Magical Ireland with May and Secret Ireland Tours. Our guest tonight is Mary Jane Brigger. Mary Jane, originally from Cincinnati but now living in Salem, Ohio, has a beautiful healing cottage up there. She is a Reiki master, she is a healer, she's a trance medium and so much more. She's going to talk to us about her life, her adventures and the tour coming up in 2025. August 2025. So I hope that you enjoyed the show. Hang with us for about an hour and learn all about Mary Jane and what she does. Mary Jane, you have just pulled yourself away from your healing centre in Salem. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Magical Ireland with May and Secret Ireland Tours, and Mary Jane Brigger is joining us for about an hour. So I hope you all hang on and listen to her great stories. And she'll tell us all about herself and her healing centre and her travels and her experiences and everything. Mary Jane, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you and talk with you tonight, Meg.
I know an awful lot of people know you and know who you are and everything, and they know about the healing centre and everything, but they might not know your background. Like, where did you grow up, Mary Jane? Where were you born?
I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio,
Oh, were you?
and yeah, and I was there for how would I think back? It's been a while, I've been gone. I was there until I was in my early 30s, and my family, my kids, and my then husband and I moved up here for a job opportunity for him. So that's how I moved up to Cleveland. And then we lived in Cleveland for quite a while. So I've actually been up here 40 years.
Wow.
So, and in the meantime, there was a divorce and I've remarried and it's a great life. And so, right now I kind of moved around Cleveland a bit and I'm now down outside of Akron and I'm in a little town called West Salem, which is right outside Worcester, Ohio. So
Yeah.
if anybody knows where Worcester is, hey, thank you.
Yeah, that's where you are. How long have you been there, Mary Jane?
We are going on, I believe, 11 years. We
Yeah.
have been here in West Salem and we're out in the country. Our neighbors are farmers and Amish.
Nice.
So it's beautiful. And that's where I'm right now. I'm here in my healing cottage. And as I'm talking to everybody, I'm looking at beautiful woods and because my cottage has floor to window ceilings and looks out over the woods. And so it's a great place to have a healing place, a place for healing and for my work.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in the country. There was a forest behind my house, and only a couple
Hmm.
of miles from my house there was a lake, and there was only a house beside me and a house across the road from me, and then the rest of the houses were away from me. And again, like you, Mary Jane, it was farming community, and you
Yeah,
heard the
it's a
cows
different life.
loo. Yeah, you'd hear the birds in the morning, you'd hear the cows looing, and you'd hear the sheep man, and it was it's a great life to live out in the country.
It is. It is. I used to love living in the city. I used to love the city life. And in my career, where I was in dental practice management and dental assisting and education for 25 years. And I traveled the country. I love the cities. And I just love the excitement. And we moved here. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, whenever I go out into the city, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so
Yeah,
noisy. It's so
yeah,
busy out here.
yeah. Because
So it's
I
nice
don't
to
think.
have the quiet places.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever really get used to. Well, we're not really in the city. We're in the greater Cincinnati area, and we have a lovely neighborhood here. It's a really quiet neighborhood, and it's nice. But I don't think I'd be able to live in a city. I really don't. I mean, I've lived in the country
No,
all my life, so
no, it's, it was something we talked about briefly this winter when our well went dry. And we talked about maybe it's time to move and not yet. I just can't, I have this beautiful place I live on in my cottage and it's so quiet and I just can't imagine being back in a neighborhood again. So I think we're here for a little while longer,
yeah,
and I hope so because this place is truly my soul.
yeah. Yeah.
And for those who do come out here and my clients who come out here, they feel the energy and they say the same thing.
Hmm.
It's just magical, and this cottage is just unbelievable. And yeah, I don't know. Well, that's just it's in the hands of the divine for the
Yes,
future.
exactly.
But right now we got the water issue taken care of, so then we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Good. That's good. That's that gone and dealt with. So, Mary Jane, what would I call you? Would I call you a channeler, or what would the title be that you would use for your gifts?
Actually, for what
I think she's frozen on me. Are you there, Mary Jane?
you can hear me
I can hear you, but you seem to be frozen on me, Mary Jane. Internet connection is unstable. Ah,
here, and then so we'll wait until there we
there
go.
you go. You're
Let me
back.
tell you, the energy's been wacky today, so I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. But no, I started out as a Reiki master teacher, and I did Reiki for years. I had a practice. I lived up in a neighborhood called Sagamore Hills, Ohio, and I practiced from there, from my home. And then we moved here to the cottage, and I did that for a lot of years, taught classes, and started to notice a shift when I would be providing Reiki. My intuition started coming alive. I started to feel and see spirits. I could see and feel them over when I would be putting my hands over people's bodies. And then I started attracting women coming here who didn't understand that they were experiencing the same thing. Their, what we call their third eye blew open. And so from there, I started teaching it and started helping women through Reiki and through classes to awaken to it. But really, it was took a couple classes, had some amazing teachers. That I had a shaman out here one weekend for a 4-day shamanic experience called Soul School, dear friend of mine. And he came out here to teach about the divine feminine energy of shamanism within the Andean Peruvian shaman. And about the third day, it was great. He's an amazing teacher. And about the third day, he said, we're going to do an anointing of the divine sacred feminine. So we did ceremonies and rituals. So we lined up to get anointed on our foreheads. He had some oil. And as soon as he touched my forehead, and I don't know what prayer he said, I literally went flying backwards.
Oh, wow.
And the person behind me caught me, and I was here in the healing cottage, and took me to a chair. And I think it was at least an hour. I They said I was just channeling and talking, but I was experiencing all these goddesses coming to me. Every culture, every every culture from years and years, thousands of years ago, they would just keep coming to me and introducing themselves, just one after another. I can still see the bright colors today and their faces. But I felt this overwhelming, beautiful presence, like right here with me as they came forward. And so when that stopped, I started saying Great Mother. And I started to channel her voice. And I'd be honest with you, up to that point, I never heard that term. You would think I would have with Reiki, but I hadn't. And so I finally came out of it. And I just realized that my vision was so sharp, my hearing was so sharp. I literally could look out the window down to the ants and the bugs in the ground. I was so sharp. And the shaman asked me, you keep saying you're the Great Mother. Do you know who she is? And I said, no, who is she? And they told me that she was the Great Mother of all creation. And that is what all cultures call her, is the Great Mother. And that night she came to me in a dream, and she took my hand and she says, I'm going to show that you're made of stardust. And the next thing I know, I was flying through the universe.
Wow.
And life has not been the same since.
Yes. You've had some adventures and journeys since then, haven't you?
I have, and it's been quite an experience. It's not easy integrating. Anybody who channels knows that when you first, so channeling is when we embody a spirit. It is, they don't overtake you, they don't possess you. It's, you allow them. And the way I experience it is I can feel the presence in front of me. And then I allow them to come in. And very often they'll come from the front. I can feel them sit within me. I can feel them. I can feel my body taking on theirs. My voice changes most of the time. Sometimes my face does. And then I start talking. And then whatever the message is that comes out. So then the difference is the spirit is actually speaking and bringing you personal messages, but from a higher realm. This is from a higher realm. When you do channeling, you're talking with beings that are what we call the higher realms or the higher energies. And so the difference between that and mediumship is mediumship if we are contacting and bringing in messages from our loved ones. So, we hear the message, we bring it in, and we give the message. Well, channeling, I am the message,
Yeah.
and I am the message. It's beautiful. It is something that I have felt so blessed with all my life. It has changed my life. It took some time to adjust to the energy of it.
Hmm.
That I met a wonderful woman named Lisa Williams, who's an international psychic medium, and I happened to see her at Victory of Light. And first time I'd met her, and I went up and I said, I don't understand what's going on with me. I said, I can't seem to connect in my mediumship. And she goes, and she looked at me and she says, because you're a trance medium. She says, you don't connect with spirit on this level. You talk to spirit on this level. And that woman, in all her busyness, took me and sat me down in her booth and explained it to me. And 3 months later, I was in Lilydale being trained by her as a
Yes.
trance medium. So ever since then, my journey has been under Lisa Williams teaching me. And this August and by September, I will be planning to complete my mastership and master teacher training with her in psychic
Fantastic.
mediumship. So that's quite a, yeah. It's a 9-month program, and I needed to complete the last part of it a year later due to illness. But yeah, I'm here and I learned a lot. So it's a lot of people are starting to channel.
And and
And you'd be
and Mary
surprised
Jane,
how often.
yeah. How did, people that would not be in that world, how did your friends that might not necessarily be in that world, how did they take your, what you do and
Well, most of my friends are in this world, but
I suppose, yeah.
but I will say, those who weren't sure what it was, just being around me, they noticed that I would be different at times. Because I'll just go into channel
Okay.
and they'll notice that there might be a change in my face or I'll get animated and they'll notice that there's a slight, and I don't always notice it, they will, because I'll see them going.
Oh, yeah.
And then if they came to me for a reading, I would go into an immediate channel and then they would experience it that way. So it's something that's becoming more common um, because people, from what I'm finding, and and of course my business is geared towards women finding the feminine within themselves, is you're speaking directly to the soul. So when you're speaking directly to the soul, you're going deeper into the subconscious. And actually the subconscious is the feminine, because that's where we hold a lot of our emotions, a lot of our experiences and so forth. So I'm able to go down deep there. So, I had a reading earlier today where it was asking questions about how to do a certain job or certain work. Well, instead it went to she could not complete it until she overcame her fear of life. And so without saying too much, then we went deeper into the soul. And then she's like, yes, yes. So these are soul messages. This is different than being told something, which is very healing. This is soul to soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of women are coming to me. They all have the same question. What is my purpose? I don't know why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the soul crying out, I'm ready to step into it.
Yeah.
But most of the time, we're already in our purpose. We're just ready to elevate it more. That's all.
Mm. Yeah.
We're always living our purpose.
Yeah. There is, yeah, but as you said, there's more of an openness and there's more of a recognition of it now as well.
There is, and it's becoming more common. You're seeing more and more channelers, and that's the way actually the energy of these higher vibrations are moving, because more and more of the children from the last I'm going to say 20 years, and even for now later, they're coming in already as psychic mediums.
Yeah.
It's just natural. And I have family who are having children who it's just normal. And they let them do it. They let them talk
Yeah.
to their angels. They let them talk to their people. And so we won't need to train them. They'll already be that way. But people now will be moving into being able to communicate with the higher realms, with the source, with God, with Creator.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different way when you do it through channeling. It's very beautiful. It's very personal. It's what they taught me. The mother, I call her. She said it's all about sacred relationship.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah.
said she said it's like any relationship. You want to form it, you want to foster it, you want to be close to it, you want to talk to it every day. And so it takes on a whole
Yeah. Well,
different blessing.
I remember the first time I met you was when you came over on a tour to Ireland with
Yes.
us. And actually, do you recognize that
Love
behind
that.
me? That's
Yes, I do.
Classy Castle,
Yes, I do.
the Mulletmore Coastal Drive. And we'd stop there. And I thought I'd use that as my background just to bring you back a
I
little.
recognize that.
Yeah. Remember the beautiful coastline there,
It was beautiful.
North
I
Sligo.
have a I have one of my favorite pictures is laying up there on the ground. And you see the water in the background, you see the castle there, and I'm like this.
Yeah.
And we started laying the ground to feel the energy of Mother Earth. And that was a very pivotal moment for me on our trip.
Yeah, and you enjoyed, I remember bringing you up to Carrowkeel Underground Passage tombs as well.
Yes,
That was a
that
special
was,
place.
that was again, something that I think about all the time. That
Mm.
was so amazing. I loved, it's what I told people about your tours, May. I said, it's not a tour. It is a tour, but it's called Secret Ireland for a reason. And I said, it's because we'll be driving down here, but then we'll turn here. And then we go to places that no one else goes. And I says, that's when you really experience the true beauty. And
Yeah,
I don't mean scenery wise, I mean the land.
the land itself, yeah.
It is, it's very different. I try to say to myself, well, can I feel that here? And sure I can, but it's different over there.
Yeah,
It's a different culture. It's a different things happen on your land. And, but it was there that I really made that connection to Mother Earth, the Great Mother. And really that was the real starting point, I would say, for what my work is now.
yeah. It's amazing, it's amazing I remember watching you and I could see it happening. I could see that you were kind of, I don't know if this is the right way to describe it, but it was like as if your roots were going down deep into the land,
Yeah,
and you
it
were
was.
taking everything, the energy, everything was coming up from the land. And I
It
remember
was.
all right that you were very moved by the whole experience of it.
Heracles is, you're standing up on this mountaintop and you're looking over at Ireland, everywhere. And all you hear is the wind around you because you're so high up. And we had to climb that mountain to get there, and I
Yeah.
love that part.
Yeah.
I that added to it. And all of a sudden you get up there and you're like, oh my gosh, there's that beautiful, beautiful catacombs and we went down in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of us had a lot of an amazing experience. I know I did, and I know that others did. But again, I think one of the most beautiful things, and I say this every time we talk, May, was you started singing.
Mhm.
And I don't know what you sang, it didn't matter, but I just sat there saying the voice of the goddess is speaking. As you put your arms out and you sang, and I like being in church.
Yeah.
And it was truly beautiful. I'll never forget that. That became part of me.
Yeah, it's amazing when I do go up there, and I used to go up there on a regular basis, and I really went up there for peace and quiet and to just connect with the land. And there's ley lines up there. You can feel the energy up there very, very powerfully. And I always had this inclination to sing up there. But I have a story to tell you. A few weeks ago, I went home and I climbed a mountain called Knocknarea. If you remember when we drive into Sligo, you'd see the mountain beside the ocean and you'd see the little hump on it. Well, that
I
was,
remember you pointed it out.
yes, I pointed it out because there's a cairn, that's an underground passage to 'em at the top. And I climbed that mountain. I was raising money for cancer. But an amazing thing happened. A few amazing things happened while I was at home, but one amazing thing happened when I got up to the top. And I'll tell you, Mary Jane, I did not know quarter way up if I was going to be able to get up to the top, because I was thinking, what was I thinking? Because I'm not as strong as I used to be, and I'm not as strong as I thought I was. But I managed to get up there. My son and a friend of mine linked me up, and we got up there, and I rang the bell up there. But I sang at the top of it. And when I was
You
singing,
did.
I did.
Oh,
And when I was singing, the most magical thing happened, Mary Jane. This skylark flew above me and she fluttered and she
oh,
sang with me
oh
beautifully. She sang with me. And when I stopped singing, she flew away, and she was the only bird in the sky. She was the
my
only bird
gosh.
in the sky.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And another
oh,
thing
you were
that
blessed.
happened,
You were
it was
anointed.
magical.
Oh,
It really was magical. And you
it
see,
was.
there's a custom at home. If you're going up there, you should bring a rock and put it up on the top of Queen Maeve's grave. I forgot. I didn't do it. I forgot. But when I came down, one of my sisters said to me, you know, your mother put a rock up there years and years ago. Now, my mother, God rest her soul, is dead 57, 58 years. And she put a rock up there years and years and years ago. So
Oh, May.
I firmly believe that the bird was sent to let me know that she was watching me.
That's so beautiful. Oh
Yeah,
my God, that is so touching.
it was amazing, because I could
Oh,
hear the bird singing, but I wasn't really taking any heed of her. And one of the girls that was there, she says, "Oh my gosh, she's the only bird in the sky. She's singing right above you."
oh my
And everybody
gosh.
looked up, and I have a picture of them all looking up at the bird. The only bird in the sky.
That is such a true
Yeah,
blessing. I mean, talk about,
yeah. It
oh
was
my
magical,
gosh,
it really
that
was.
was
And it
magic.
rained the day before, it rained the night before, and the
Oh no.
day of the climb was absolutely fantastic.
Well, I saw the pictures. I thought, oh my gosh, it's a nice, sunny,
It was
beautiful day.
beautiful, beautiful.
You were just at that moment, you were in the heavenly realms and
Oh
they
wow.
were blessing and
Yeah.
singing with you.
I know it was really magical, Mary Jane. You would have loved it if you had been
Oh
there
my
to see
gosh.
this. Yeah,
Oh, that was
yeah,
just,
And
Well,
she just fluttered above my head and she sang with me. Beautiful. This bird singing was absolutely amazing. And then she just flew away. Not another bird in the sky.
what can you say?
Yeah,
But
what can
that's
you say?
that's pure love,
Absolutely, it was. It was amazing. But
pure love.
talking about Ireland and going places and going to sacred places and fantastic places, we have planned something. Do you want to tell our visitors and our listeners what we have planned?
Well, speaking of magic, we have a very unique and wonderful tour planned with an amazing woman named Rachel,
Mm-hmm.
who is a practicing Druid in Ireland. And we are gathering together a small group of individuals to go to her healing center in Southwest Ireland outside Killarney. And we are going to spend, I think we have 7 days, correct me, but we are going to her center to learn Druid healing magic.
Yeah. And
And this is magic that goes way back before Christianity. It goes way far back. This is the ancient wisdom of Ireland. This is Irish magical healing that we're going to learn that the Druids did.
mhm.
And the Druids were an ancient, ancient race. They go way far back. They were your scholars. They were your magicians. They would be your professors of today that you would see, these high professors and scholars that you would see today in our colleges. And they were very learned and they knew everything about the land. They knew everything about the sky. They knew how the earth and the cosmos worked. And so they became teachers. And then there were women teachers. There were the high priestesses. There were the initiates who worked with them. Well, Rachel is one of them.
Yes, and
And
she's
this is a
magical.
beautiful ancient, I have had most remarkable, wonderful conversation with her and May one night that I for days was about 10 feet off the ground after talking to her.
Yeah.
And we're going to go there to learn ancient Druidic systems, but we're going to learn it like they learned it. We're going to learn about the directions of Irish Druid magic, which is all Celtic. It's shamanism. It's
Mm-hmm.
like shamanism all over the world. We take in the sky, we take in the land, we'll learn to appreciate the water, we'll learn to appreciate the directions, we'll learn about our spirit animals. This is something everybody likes. We're going to learn about the Irish spirit animals, which are a little different than the ones we learn about over here in America because there's different animals. Just like
Yes.
Rachel was telling me, she says, we don't have panthers here,
Yeah.
but we have other animals that we recognize. And we're going to learn she's going to talk to us about the She, which is the Irish fairy. And they're not what you think they are. So pay attention.
Yeah.
But goes very deep because this is part of your culture, the She, isn't it, Meg?
Yeah. It is.
And it's
Very much
something that
so. Very
until
much
you're
so.
there, very much so. And until you are on the land, until you're with people who actually live this, who actually do still live it, you don't fully understand it. And it's beautiful and it's wonderful. And we're going to be on her land, which is magical in itself. She has a small farm that she lives off of. But
Mm-hmm.
she's going to teach us all about the Irish Druidism, all the about the goddess and the
The
earth mothers.
herbs
And
and
there's a
the
lot of
herbs.
things,
Yeah, the herbs and the trees
herbs and healing. Yes.
and what grows on the land. Like, I mean, for instance, my grandmother was a great healer. And I
Uh,
remember people used to come to the house for her to sort stuff out for them. And she'd go out in the springtime and she would pick the young nettles and she'd bring them back to the house
yep.
and she'd put them
Oh
into
my goodness.
cabbage, and that would purify our blood. You know,
Yeah.
dandelion leaves were another thing that she'd pick. We used to eat the berries from the blackberries and gooseberries and wild fruit. And she always said it was full of vitamins and it's full of everything you need. Dillisk from the sea, it's full of iron and iodine. And we would eat you know, I used to crave it when I was pregnant with my first one. I craved dillisk, so I was obviously low in iron or iodine. And you know, the people, the Irish people still hold on to that. And for instance, talking about the fairies, you know, we've got fairy forts all over Ireland. And if they're on the land, or if there's a lone tree, a fairy tree on the land, if a farmer is ploughing the land, he will not touch the tree. He will not interfere with it. He won't interfere with the fairy fort. You don't. An Irish person would not necessarily want to go into a fairy fort because they believe the power of the fairies.
Mm-mm.
You know,
That's
and
right.
we still have those beliefs. We still, you know, New Year's Eve, we would always throw tea leaves out the back door to the fairies.
Oh, I love that.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
give them your the tea leaves. You know, give them a gift, and you should have a good year the next year. You know, there's so many customs that we have, and we still have to this day. You know.
That's the parts of Ireland you really don't know, and that's what Rachel's going to teach us. She's going to teach us strictly from where it came from because she is that.
Yes.
She is that amazing teacher. I remember on our trip, Meg, going in a traffic circle, and it was around a ferry fort.
Yes.
And we didn't know what it was. And you said, this is, no, it's a ferry port. And that's first time I heard about it.
Yeah.
You were telling us on the bus as we were going around it. And then I remember pointing it out in the fields and the different
Yes.
places. But you would, construction and that would go up around the ferry port before
Yes.
they would disturb it.
Yeah, they will not. Like there was, I remember years and years and years ago when I lived there, there was a big controversy outside of Dublin. They wanted to build a motorway. The problem was the motorway was going to go right through a ferry fort, so they were going to you know, they were going to interfere with the ferry fort. And the people of the locality came out and said, no, you are not touching the ferry fort because it won't bring anybody any luck. You're leaving it alone. And with enough pressure, it actually ended up that most of the people of Ireland stood with the locals and said, you're not, we won't use the roads. We won't use those roads if a ferry fort has been tampered with. And the pressure was put on the, you know, the people who were going to build this road, and they had to go around the ferry fort. They
Oh,
didn't
isn't that,
interfere with it. Yeah, they didn't interfere with it because they weren't allowed by the people.
oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, those are the things we don't know about
Yeah.
here in America. You might hear about it, but I know, I just know that when I was on the tour with you, May, you taught me so much about Ireland I never heard about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did like the singing on the bus too.
It's good fun.
That
But
was fun.
that's the good thing about it. Now, you know, it's not all going to be workshops all the time.
Oh, it's
But
not.
we're going to have a day. When you come in, we're going to come into Shannon Airport and we're going to do a bit of sightseeing. We're going to visit Bunratty Castle and the Folk Park and a few more things before we get down to Killarney. And you will be staying in Killarney. And Killarney is it's a vibrant town and it has a massive nightlife. It has amazing
That's what I've
restaurants.
heard.
Yeah, oh, it is. It's fantastic. Oh, Mary Jane, you know, I mean, and this is in August. It'll be very busy, number one, but it will be every bar will have music and there'll be dancing, and the restaurants, they're top quality restaurants and you will not be short of choice. So you've got Killarney, and you've got, you know, in the evenings when you get back from your workshops, you'll be able to, you know, there's jaunting carts with horses and carts, and you can go off for a spin around Killarney, or you could go out to the lake, or you could go to Ross Castle, or there's so much to do. But we will be taking you on, I think it's 2 full days of touring. We're going to do the Ring of Kerry and we're going to do the Ring of Beara,
Can't
which
wait for
that
those.
we'll also be visiting Cork as well, along with that. And then there's 3 evenings of touring as well. We'll be bringing people to different places. And you know, you get to tour, you get to see a lot of the countryside and the scenery. The scenery is just
Oh, it's
breathtakingly beautiful
pictures
down
don't
there.
do it
Oh
justice.
no, videos don't even do it justice, Mary
No,
Jane. Yeah,
no,
you really have to see it. It's amazing. But
you do.
the great thing as well is Rachel is a multi-instrumentalist, and
Yeah.
she will have her musician friends in the center as well, that you'll have some really good music. And you know, she'll be teaching, I think she's going to be using singing bowls, and she'll be
Mhm.
teaching about different musics and things like that. I mean, she really is an amazing woman, and if you're into learning at all about the ancient ways and Celtic shamanism, and you know, becoming the wise woman that you are, she's you couldn't get anyone better than her.
And I completely agree with you. And you just said something that is who a lot of my community, and that is we are women who are now entering our wise woman years. And we are now looking to more of a spiritual path, more of a mystical path. This is for us. And what I tell people about this trip is you can go and tour it, or you can learn about it first. Because then when you leave that healing center and we go to tour, you're going to appreciate Ireland in a way you never did, because would have learned the ancient ways, the
Yeah.
ancient wisdom, how it really got to. You're going to experience it totally different than you would before.
Yes, absolutely. You'll see the ancient Ireland coming out, you know.
Yes. And that's what many want to do. They are ready to turn back to the ancient ways. They are finding peace in us as more indigenous cultures are coming out. We're finding that that's a coming home. And for many of us, that's what we feel about Ireland.
Yeah,
It's a coming home of our souls,
yeah,
regardless if you have heritage back there or not. This is a soul coming home. And I can say this because that's what happened to me when I went to Ireland.
yeah,
And I never thought I'd ever see, and here I'm going back again.
yeah, you are.
And but it was magical. And but I always say I give you credit for this, May, and the beautiful, wonderful person you are, the goddess I consider you, is you make the trip. And there were stories, and these are personal stories of yours. You grew up in Ireland. I was with some time ago with a bunch of people who just came back from Ireland, but it was led by an American and this and that, and they're talking, and I never heard one thing about what I experienced.
Yeah,
I heard about all the drinking, but I said, well, when I went, I did this and that, and all I got was, and then later on, what did you experience? I said, yeah, this is the tours I go on. And so you will, let me tell you something. Any of you who go on this trip, and I know some who are looking into this have been there already, you're going to come back different and in a good way. Because there is nothing like going onto the magic of the land where you can truly feel, the energy of Mother Earth, where there is such an enchantment. Ireland's had its troubles. There's a lot of tears in our earth too, but there's a lot of strength that can overcome those tears, and you learn from that.
yeah,
You become that wisdom. And so this is not just a tour. This is a tour where you're going to truly learn what Ireland is, who Ireland is. And then you go out later and tour these sites. And you're going to be different. I'm telling you. Well, right here, both hands up.
yeah. But people
Um,
kind of, you know, not alone will you find out about Ireland, but you might very well find out an awful lot about yourself. You know, a lot of
that's
stuff.
pretty much what happened.
Yeah, yeah,
It is a transformation. There is, and when you begin to and this is where Rachel is just amazing as a teacher, because Rachel grew up in this. Rachel knows this heart to heart. This is her culture. This is her life. And so when you learn it from an actual person who lives and breathes it from the day she came to this earth, it's a totally different experience.
yeah,
It's transforming. And she has things that I have no idea, but we're going to learn things that, or I would rather say, we're going to remember things
yeah,
about who we are through her teachings, because we're going to be doing healings. maybe learn about the medicinal herbs, things that we all did as wise women many times before. Some
Yeah.
of us maybe walk in the path we were there lifetimes before. But again, I agree with what you say. This is very much a transformative experience.
Mhm.
It's it's you're not going to be the same, and I can't put words into it, but I can guarantee you're going to come back a different person and a much happier person.
And, some people might be kind of uneasy about traveling on their own, but for this tour especially, a lot of people probably will be on their own. And
Yes,
it's a safe tour. It'll be mostly
yes,
women. Um,
yes.
the amazing thing about it, and I love this part about the tours, and this was kind of my whole idea about the tours, was first of all to give people an affordable vacation in Ireland,
Yes,
but
it's very affordable.
also to see friendships developing and see them continuing. And it really is,
Yes,
it really is amazing. You watch people coming in, you know, on the airplane, you see them coming into the airport and they're kind of nervous and they don't really know what they're doing or where they're going, or they don't want to say too much. And all of a sudden, within 2 or 3 days, they're talking to each other. And then you hear them laughing on the bus. And then you hear them,
yes,
singing songs. And all of a sudden, you're watching
yes.
these amazing friendships develop. And you come back then
Oh yeah.
and you see these friendships, on Facebook, and they're visiting each other and they're contacting
Mhm.
and they're writing to each other. And it
Yep.
really is magical. Yeah.
It's this beautiful community that springs up. I'm still good friends with many of them, and
Yeah.
you know, of course, on Facebook, email, some come up here, and or we meet down at Victory Light, down in
Yeah.
Cincinnati, and there was some great friendships. And my sister Annie went with me, and I
Yeah.
can remember running into probably half the tour group at Victory Light Psychic Show right after that. It was Old Home Week. All you could hear was
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
dancing,
Yeah.
kisses, and everything. And that still happens. We just went this year, and we're still running into people from the group, and it's
It's
just like old
fantastic. And I
week.
mean, I had my birthday party in June, and I mean, there was about 5 or 6 people who, between England and America, that actually came over to Ireland to celebrate my birthday with me. People that had come on different tours, and
Oh,
two of them have come on 2 and 3 tours. It really is. It's amazing. But for anybody
yes.
who is interested in this tour, and you don't have to be necessarily um obsessed with workshops or anything like that. You can we will be
For
in
half a day.
you'll be
Mhm.
staying there for the duration, and it will be up to you whether you want to take a day off and just do your own thing, or do
Yep.
all of the workshops. But the workshops will be there available to you. But we have we have an installment plan for people. It's a very affordable tour, Mary Jane, really. And we have an installment plan
That's the
for
people
people.
have signed up have told me that that
Yeah,
that it's very affordable, that they're very happy with how it's all working out. Yes.
yeah. So we have the installment plan available for people who'd want to do it. So what you would do is you'd go on Secret Ireland Tours, LLC.com. And then there's spooky tours and there's happy tours. Now, as Unlook would have it, probably I have you on the spooky tours tab. So um if you click a spooky tour tab and then tours 2025, and then you scroll down, you'll see Mary Jane's picture there. And then there's a link. You can go into the website. Let me just see if I have it up here. Okay, this is the telephone version of it. That's it. So let's say this is your website, your web page, and you'll see a QR code. If you want to just sign up for information, you can use that QR code and just put your name and your details down there, and I'll write to you and I'll give you the links and everything. But that's the logo for Rachel's Healing Center. So if you go down another little bit, there's that green button, And if you were to press that, I just want to see if I have a map here for you. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Oh, there's the map. So there's a map on the web page, and it's an interactive map, and it'll show you where, what parts of the country we'll be touring. But if you click that green button on the web page, that will bring you, it'll take a minute, Mary Jane, because as you know, internet is not always as fast as we'd like it to be. It'll take you into information and a payment platform. And as of now, it's happening.
There we go.
And there is the We Travel payment platform. And you'll see, well, let's just see, I'll take reject all. You can select there. Let's say you select, oh no, this is not working. You'd select either a double room if you have yourself and your husband or your partner coming and you just want one room, or you'll select single occupancy, or you'll select twin rooms, because some of you might like to share a room, and that's where you'll select that there. But then if you scroll down, you'll get the itinerary, and the itinerary will show you every day what's going to happen, and every day what workshops are going to be taught and what we're going to be doing. So you've got all the
And
information.
we'll be going. I would really encourage people to go to that page, because you really need to read Rachel's bio
Oh
and
yeah,
read who this wonderful woman is. She'll just blow you away. And also you'll get more detail about what we'll be working with in the workshops.
yeah.
And in the evening, if you choose to, we will be offering channelings and healing sessions. Let's talk of a seance. So
Yeah. So
we're going to have some fun in the evenings if you wish to hang out with us and get to know the spirits of Ireland.
yeah, you're going to have a great time. And another thing,
Oh,
we're
yes.
only taking 20 people. It's only going to
Yes.
be 20 people, because that's the capacity that Rachel's healing center can take. And we have some signed up already. So I would advise people, if you're interested, get your deposit in as soon as you can.
And I would also like to add just the fact that it says 2025, August of 2025, does not mean that you can sign up until then. We really only have a brief window,
Yeah,
because Ireland books up a year and a half, a year in
it does.
advance,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I like to have people, the deposits in as soon as possible, so that I can secure everything as soon as possible. And the fact that it's August, and the fact that it's County
Yeah.
Kerry. Kerry is the most visited place in Ireland during the summer months. It will be very, very busy, and I would need to make sure that I have everything booked and paid for as soon as I possibly can. So I would advise people, the first 20 people that put their deposits on, that's it. That's who's going.
And those of you, I know that many people who have been on larger tours, and then I would tell them about tours with you. Well, this is even a smaller than the one I went on with you. So just think about the community, the circle, the friendships, because we will be, I consider this work very sacred that Rachel does. And this is a very beautiful spirituality that is centuries old.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's a holy time. This is a time of a sacred space that we will be in. And so it's not, you like that small, intimate setting.
yeah,
And that's what we will have. And some of you I know who are coming on the trip already, but there's new friends that I'm also looking forward to meeting. So um this is strictly a trip of a lifetime for those of you who are looking to deepen with your spirit, to walk more of a mystical path. And I call myself the mystic wise woman for a reason. It's because once you tap into that world, once you tap deep into the land, and I started in Ireland and it's still in me, your whole life changes. You and see and touch spirit more, I go through the goddess. Hello, hello.
Yeah,
It's but I found all that in Ireland.
yeah.
Um,
So if
I'll be
anyone is
70 years old
interested,
next
yeah.
year, and I found myself finally.
Yes, exactly. Well, you can go to Mary Jane's website if you want information,
Yes.
or you can go to our website if you want information, or our Facebook page is Mary Jane. Do you want to give out your information, your website and your
You,
Facebook page?
yes. I have it right on my front page, the information for Ireland. It's maryjanebrigger.com. And all you
Perfect.
have to do is go there. All the information's on my front page. You can also go to my Facebook page. You can direct message me. I would love to talk to you about this trip if you would like to ask me more questions because I've been there and know more of what we're going to be doing in the workshops. And I would love to talk to you, but more or less, I would love to see you on the trip.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much, Mary Jane, for joining
Thank
us.
you, May.
And for, as you got maryjanebrigger.com or Secret Ireland Tours LLC.com for any of the information. And as I said, we've got an installment plan. It's an interest-free installment plan, and it makes it easier for people. They can have the thing paid off long before the trip at all. So
And this is very affordable, May. I've looked at other trips and that, and knowing what's involved and what we're doing, this is a very, very, because we do have meals included.
yes, yes,
So it's just in the evenings that we're on our own. So th
yeah,
this is a great deal. So I would urge you to go to the website or contact me at maryjanebrigger.com, and boy, I'll help you out wherever I
yeah,
can. But I look
absolutely.
forward to seeing you on the trip.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary Jane. So anyone that's looking
Thank
in,
you,
please
Mary.
like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be fantastic. And just spread the word, and please look at our websites and have a look and consider coming with us. But if you are
Yes.
considering it, don't waste too much time. Get your name down and your deposit to secure your place. So Mary Jane, once again, thank you very much for joining
Oh, thank
Magical
you, May.
Ireland with May and Secret Ireland Tours. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.